All right, guys. Obviously, you know we are in finals week, so here is the final review for the first semester. Okay. Just a reminder, we will be giving you the 3 stars, so you'll have all the formulas you will need for this. Okay. And also, if you do better on this than any of your other tests, I will change your grade. From the test grade that you currently have to the final grade. So there is some incentive for those of you that are looking to try to make up some extra points and things like that to try to do better on this final, so we can sneak in some points here right before we go on break. Okay, so first question here is write an example of a rational number, and then also write an example of an irrational number. Okay, on the test, remember this is all multiple choice, so you just need to know the definitions between the two. Okay, a rational number, all right? So what you're looking for either a whole number, okay, a fraction, a decimal that ends, so something like 2.5 that clearly has an end, okay, or a repeating decimal, so something like 0.33333 repeating, okay, would all work, all right? So just for sake of example, I'll just write down a number 2, okay? For irrational number, the most common irrational number we use is pi, okay? That's our most common irrational. All right, for number 2, which of the following expressions is not equivalent to the others, okay? So what we're looking for here is we're looking for which one doesn't equal the other. So this is pretty simple, okay? You're either distributing or combining like terms. That is all you have to do here. First one, you combine your like terms, 5m and 3m, okay, gives me 8m. All right, 1n minus 3n gives me negative 2n. So that is what my first equation or expression is right there. Okay? Second expression looks like I have to distribute. So I go ahead and I distribute. All right? So, I have negative 2 times n, which is negative 2n. Okay? Negative 2 times negative 4m is positive 8m. All right? If I notice, both those first two are the exact same. Both have a positive 8m. Both have a negative 2n. Okay, next one, C. Okay, if I distribute the 2, okay, 2 times 4 is 8, so I have 8m, and 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, so negative 2n. Okay, so far so good, everybody's the same. All right, finally the last one, I go ahead, I distribute, I get 8m, and I get a positive 2n. That one is different, therefore that is my answer. Okay, so just distribute and or combine like terms for that in order to get to your answers, okay? Number 3, all right, number 3 is just a plug-in, okay? So you plug in your values. It gives you A, it gives you B, it gives you C. You go ahead and you just plug them all in. So you just have to be careful, okay? So I see a minus sign, it says minus B, and I have a negative B, so I have to be very careful. That minus sign does not take care of my negative. I do still need to plug in that negative. Okay? Finish my plug-in here. So 3 minus. Okay? Alright, so as I'm doing this, alright, it's pretty simple. Okay? Remember, minus a negative really means plus a positive for us. So 2 plus 5 plus 3 is 10. Okay? 3 plus a negative 5 is negative 2. So 10 times negative 2 is negative 20, and that would be my answer. Okay? Number 4. Okay, number 4 is an algebra 1 problem. Okay, we should be able to just figure this out. All right, go ahead. Distribute that negative 3. So this side does not change. Other side, negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 7 is a positive 21. From here, you have choices. Okay, you can go ahead and move your x's to the left or the right, or your numbers. So to make x positive, I'm going to take it left. Okay, to get rid of the negative 6x, I'm going to add 6x, which gives me 18x minus 15 on this side is equal to 21. I'm going to go ahead and add 15 to the other side there to get 18x is equal to 36. Okay, finally divide by 18 to give me x is equal to 2. All right, so nice, simple, distribute, and then move everything onto one side. Okay, number 5. Okay, number 5, We go to a gas station. All right. It looks like they're selling gas for $3.21 a gallon. Okay. Later on in the problem, it tells me I want 12 gallons, so I know I'm going to have to multiply this by 12. Okay. And then finally, it says I want to add a car wash out of that. That costs $6. Okay. So it's a calculator problem. Just type in 3.21 times 12 plus 6, and you should get 44.52. Guys, we cannot be afraid of decimals, okay? It will happen every now and then, so don't be afraid of it. It will happen at least once on this test, okay? Number 6, okay, solve the following absolute value equation, all right? And it gives you one of the answers. It says one of the solutions is x is 4. I want the other one. Okay, cool. Well, anytime you have an absolute value equation, it's technically 2 equations, okay? You have a positive version and you have a negative version. All right, so the positive version, the insides do not change. Okay, it's exactly what you see. There's my positive version. All right, the negative version, again, the inside stays the same. However, the answer changes to negative. Okay, so really quickly, this process will be the same for both of these. I'm going to add 4. I'm going to start with my positive version. Add 4, so I get 5x equals 20, which gives me x is equal to 4. Okay? Now, problem is that's what the answer they already gave me. So that's not the one I want, which means I need the negative version. So if I do the negative version really quick, I'm going to add 4. I have 5x is equal to negative 12. And then I'm going to divide by 5 to get negative 12 over 5, which is my answer. Okay? Number 7. Okay, number 7 is, again, just simply solve it, okay? So start by distributing your 7. All right, so left side of the equation does not change. All right, right side now looks like this, 7x minus 28. Cool. You have choices here. You can bring stuff to the right or left. It does not matter. It's up to you. For sake of argument, I'm going to keep x positive, so I'm going to move my negative x to the right. To do that, I'm going to have to add an x, so I end up with 28 is greater than or equal to 8x minus 28. To get rid of that negative 28, to bring it to the left, I'm going to go ahead and add 28 to both sides. I am left with 56 is greater than or equal to 8x. I go ahead and finally divide by 8, so I end up with, I end up with 7 is greater than or equal to x. Now, I will tell you this, on the test, I believe all the answers are written with the variable first, meaning that x has to come first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this whole thing over. So what the answer will look like is x is less than or equal to 7. Okay, so it's just flipping it over. No big deal. Okay, number 8. Number 8, we have a one of our favorite problems from a test before. Okay. We hated this one because a lot of people forgot about it, all right? The big issue was we were missing a side, okay? We were missing a side, in particular we were missing that side right there. So, for us, it's easy to figure out, okay? The top half of this says it's 9b. On the bottom, I see I have a 6b. So if I want to make that whole length 9b, I'm missing 3b of it. Okay, after I figure that out, it's really simple. It's just add everything on the outside. So I'm going to start by saying, okay, I have my A's, I've got my B's, and I've got the numbers without variables. Okay, so I have to handle those too. All right, really quickly, 6a plus 7a plus 11a is 24a. Okay. 6b plus 3b plus 9b is 18b, and 5 minus 6 minus 9 is negative 10. The final answer is just put all those together. It was a positive 24a, a positive 18b, and a negative 10. Okay, so that's what that looks like. All right. Next, we have our temperature problem. Okay. Again, I see that I have absolute values, okay? So because I have absolute values, that means I have a positive version of this and a negative version of this. So positive version is exactly what you see. Negative version, when you deal with inequalities, you have to flip it to do the negative version. Okay? So really quickly, process the same for both. I'm going to go ahead and add 34. So this side I am left with t is less than or equal to 74. Now I can check my answers at this point. Before I even go to the negative version, I'm going to check my answers at this point. Okay? I'm going to look for, is there any number in that list that is bigger than 74? In this case, yes, we have that. It's 97. So that is going to be my answer. I do not have to check the smaller one. Okay? Number 10. Okay, number 10 is the consecutive integers. So consecutive integers, we always start the same. We always start with this. X plus 1 plus x plus 2. Okay? So, all right, it's equal to 84 here. All right? If there was a fourth integer, we would add on x plus 3. It's just always another x plus the next number in line. Okay? So, if I'm looking at this, I go ahead and combine them all like terms. So I have 3x plus 3 is equal to 84. All right? I go ahead and subtract 3. I have 3x is equal to 81. Divide by 3, so x is 27. All right? Remember, this gives me three numbers. So the first number is 27. The second number is 28. Third number is 29. Okay, then I got to pay attention to which one it wants. In this case, it says it wants the third number. So therefore, my answer should be 29. Okay? All right, next one. Let's keep moving as quickly as we can here. All right? It's just a plug-in problem. It says, what is f of negative 3? All it wants you to do is plug in negative 3 where you see x. Okay? So it's exactly what you're going to do, and you're going to go to a calculator and type it in. I mean, there's nothing more to this problem than that right there. Okay? So if I do this, I believe I end up with 30 is my answer, and that's all I had to do there. It wasn't really anything crazy. All right? Number 12 asks you for slope. Okay, slope is a formula that should be given to you. We just did a whole project with slope. Okay, so slope, really quickly, is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so I start with this. All right, so it looks to me like my y2 is 8, my x2, or I'm sorry, my y1 is negative 20. Okay, and then on the bottom, I have my x2 minus my x1. All right, up top I see minus a negative, so I'm really thinking plus a positive. So 8 plus 20 is 28. On the bottom, I have 5 minus 3, which is 2. Okay, 28 divided by 2 is 14. There's my slope. Okay, last one here, and this is exactly what we did on our project. Okay, we start with slope. Okay, so if I start with slope, all right. Okay, so that again is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, again, I see plus positive down here, so I really have negative 6 over negative 3, which gives me a slope of 2. At this point, I get to pick which coordinate I go in with, so I'm going to pick the first coordinate here. So I'm plugging into this formula, which again was our project. Okay, for your lines. All right, so if I do this, I'm going to have y minus 2 is equal to 2 times x minus my x1. Well, I'm going to have minus a negative 2. So once again, plus a positive. So go ahead and distribute your 2. Y minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 4. Finally, add 2 to both sides to get your final answer of y equals 2x plus 6. Okay, that's what day 1 looks like, guys. That's what we went over in class today. So there's part 1.